morning, Isana Nascent. This is Mr. Tucker coming to you live from my house. We're live with the Corona lessons. We are doing distance learning and doing it well. Today I want to talk to you about a thing called evaluating expressions. Repeat that, evaluate expressions. Excellent. First of all, before I teach you how to evaluate expressions, let's talk about the vocabulary that you'll find in this mathematic problem today. The first word is evaluate. Evaluate, what does that mean? That means to find the answer. That's all. That's just a fancy way of saying find the answer. Find the answer to what? To a mathematical expression. What's an expression? It's simply a math problem. That's it. So when they say to evaluate an expression, they're saying find the answer to a math problem. Nothing big, nothing fancy, nothing mystical about that, those big words. Just keep trudging. When you run into it, just get the answer and you'll be right. Okay, let's take a look at the very first problem. It's a word problem, which is actually, when you take the S back, I'd probably say that 80% of the problems in math will be word problems. The first one says each day Jorge walks his dog 15 minutes in the morning and 25 minutes in the afternoon. So his dog is getting plenty of exercise. The next thing they say is evaluate the expression 7 times 15 plus 25 to find out how many minutes he walks his dog each week. Now, I hope you all have a pencil and a paper because I need you to write down all this information. In fact, this is the most important thing right now is the vocabulary, because I'm going to need the vocabulary space down here in order to work the problem. So pause the video and quickly go get a pencil and paper, write that down, evaluate an expression. All right, I'm going to work this problem for you. It's very, very easy, and you'll find that these problems, although they look ominous, they're actually quite easy. The first thing is, it says evaluate this expression right here, 7, and I'll write this expression down. 7 times 15 plus 25. So you may ask, where does this come from? Here's where it comes from. If you want to know how much Jorge actually walks his dog every day, you'd go up to the problem and it says he walks his dog 15 minutes in the morning and 25 minutes in the afternoon. Hey, there's the 15 minutes in the morning, there's the 25 in the afternoon. If you want to know how much time he walks his dog all day, just simply add that up. 15 plus 25, that's easy. 40. He walks his dog 40 minutes a day. His dog is getting a lot of exercise in. So in order to do this problem, we see that it has parentheses, it has addition, it has multiplication. So we're going to put our little reminder over here on the side, PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, which simply means parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. That's the order that we do all of our math problems in. First this, second that, all goes in that order. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So let's look at this problem. 7 times 15 plus 25. What's the first thing? Parentheses. We have to do what's inside the parentheses first. So we'll do the 15 plus 25 we've already said that this equals 40. So now, we have 40, and bring down the 7 times. 7 times 40 will give us our answer. Well, 7 times 40, that's actually kind of easy because we know what 7 times 4 is. 7 times 4 is 28, and we just simply add the 0. So 7 times 40 is 280. So there's our answer. That's how you want to find out how many minutes he walks his dog each week. He walks his dog 280 minutes per week. There is your answer. Pretty easy, huh? Okay, through the magic of erase, we're now going to come up with the next problem, which is a little more involved. I'm also going to show you the area model on this next one. There's a woman who lives in my neighborhood. Her name is Mrs. Tahoe. And I'll write that down. Mrs. Tahoe. She works at the pool. In fact, she works 4 hours on Mondays, 4 hours Mondays, and Wednesday she works 8 hours. It's a little more crowded on Wednesday. And then 8 hours on Wednesdays. If I can spell right, get it right. Okay, 8 hours on Wednesdays at the pool. She works at Enterprise Park, the pool here in Compton. She teaches kids swim lessons. I sure hope all of you guys are taking swimming lessons. It's actually for your safety and for your enjoyment. It keeps you safer every time you're around water. You never have to worry about falling in water because you can swim. And then it's for your enjoyment because now you can go swimming at Enterprise Park pool or any pool you want, even in the ocean. So she works there every week. These are her regular hours. She works at the pool. We'll put that down every week. But there's been a problem. We've had a coronavirus outbreak. And now they've cut her hours. They say, ma'am, Miss Tahoe, we're going to have to cut down your hours. We're going to take away 3/4 of your hours. You can only work 1/4 of your hours that you work every week. So now, we'll call this her corona hours. Her coronavirus hours are only 1/4 of her regular hours. Some of you guys can relate to that because your parents' hours have been cut and there's less money to go around. So what does that mean? You need to know how much money you're bringing in now. So let's evaluate this expression. What expression, Mr. Tucker? Well, the expression is now Mrs. Tahoe is going to make 1/4 of what? Of her weekly hours. Well, what are her hours? 4 hours on Monday, 8 hours on Wednesday. 4 hours plus 8 hours. There's our expression we're going to evaluate. What's 1/4 of 4 plus 8? Okay? Remember that of means times. What does of mean? Times, exactly. So we're going to take this of out and put simply times. So what's 1/4 of 4 plus 8? Let's quickly go back to PEMDAS. PEMDAS says parentheses goes first. Is there any parentheses? Yes. We'll do that first. No exponents, but there is multiplication. No division. There is some addition and no subtraction. We have to go in that order. So let's do parentheses first. Let's calculate that. What's in the parentheses? 4 plus 8 is 12. So this 4 plus 8 turns into 12. We bring down the rest of the problem. Times, we bring that down and bring down the 1/4. 1/4 times 12. How do we do that, Mr. Tucker? I'm glad you asked. Let's write it up here so we'll be able to work it. You can't multiply fractions times whole numbers, and you can't unless you have to do either apples to apples or oranges to oranges. Either we're going to multiply fractions or we're going to multiply whole numbers, but not fractions to whole numbers. Anyway, we need to change this 12 into a fraction, because we do know that 1/4, you can't change that to a whole number, it's a fraction. So let's rewrite it right here where you can see it. 1/4 times 12 equals what? Well, the nice thing I love about whole numbers is you can turn them into fractions by simply putting a 1, drawing a line and putting a 1 underneath, and now you have a fraction. 1/4 times 12 over 1. And the cool thing I love about multiplication of fractions is you just multiply the numerators, the numbers on the top, and you multiply the denominators, the numbers on the bottom, and you pretty much are done. So that's easy. 1 times 12 is 12. 4 times 1 is 4. You're pretty much done, but you now see that you have an improper fraction, 12 over 4. Well, we do know by the 5th grade that the line in the fraction means divide. The line in the fraction means divide. That means that this is actually saying, that's not really 12 over 4. It's really saying 12 divided by 4. So let's divide that out. What's 12 divided by 4? We multiply that, we divide it out. 4 times what is 12? 4 times 3 is 12. So 12 over 4 equals 3. And there's your answer. We want to know how many hours is Miss Tahoe going to get? She's not going to be working her 12 hours anymore. She's going to be working 1/4 of that, which is now 3 hours a week. Will she be able to live on that? I think she will. They tell me she's a retired school teacher. And you know, school teachers, we can work anything. Thanks for listening.